Just saw. I remember I just saw my new grandbaby. My new grandbaby is amazing. But I remember when my kids were first born, and when you see those kids born, you make that decision that when you see them come into the world, you make that decision that you will do anything and everything you can to protect that kid, to provide for that kid. You will do anything and everything you can. You don't know what you're going to do, but somehow you're going to do it. That's the mindset. That has to be the mindset when you're a parent, particularly a person of color parent. But I was watching shows, I was watching these court cases, and you look at these people who have these kids. I'm talking about black parents in particular, and these fathers they walk away. Not all of them, of course, but they're willing to walk away. They're willing to claim that's not their kid. They don't want anything to do with the kid. They're willing to walk away, and it's there's one part of me that's unforgiving of that. That you're not willing to be a part of that kid's life. You're willing to walk away. You have a relationship with this lady. You make all these promises that you want to be a family. Then the kid comes, she gets pregnant, you bail. And then you say it's not hers. You make all these accusations that she was with somebody else, and you start sleeping with other people. There's a part of me that's non-forgiving of that kind of act. Because black families need to stay together. They need to be together. They need to set the example as they move forward so that they can have some sort of way of success. Because there's so many obstacles that can be against the black family. Whether it's the schools, the system, whether it's society in general, not being able to get jobs, police. There's so many obstacles there against black people and black families that there needs to be this unity to help them get through it. And not just the unity of the family itself, but the unity of generational families before, as learning and teaching so that each generation can get better. But also there's a part of me that understands, not accepts it, but understands that it could be overwhelming as a black male in this society where you're struggling with the educational part of it, and you're struggling with the police part of it, you're struggling with jobs because there's a high percentage of unemployment among blacks in jobs. You're struggling in society a little bit, and it looks like it's impossible. Not only can you support yourself or you exist in a certain way, but you have this child you brought into this world that you care about so much, and you doubt yourself of what can you do with this child. What value can you bring to this? What value can you bring to this family with this child and this lady that you're with? There's a part of me that understands that there may be that kind of doubt. You want to be able to live as a man in this society and exist as a man and protect yourself and be a role model, protect your kids. And sometimes, if we allow it to be, there's situations in this society, if we allow it, I'm not making excuses, that creates this huge burden or obstacle for you to exist in that way with a family. It's like you give your power to someone else. You give your power to the police. You give your power to the school system. You give your power to the job market. You give your power to police. Whatever it is, you're giving away your power. But I'm saying, even so, that could be a reason why some bail. They don't feel they're good enough. They don't feel they can take on all this, and therefore they don't feel there would be any value to this family. But I'm saying that regardless of those obstacles or that burden, we have to move forward anyway. We have to, it's not easy, but we have to figure out how do we move forward with our families. If you pick somebody and you have a baby with them, your family. You don't bail on your family. You dig in there. You figure it out. Just because the job market is hard on it for you, don't mean you don't do it anyway. You figure it out. You keep going at it. You figure it out. Just because the school system or the educational system is tougher doesn't mean you can't somehow dig in there and educate yourself. You've got to figure it out. We can't allow obstacles out there to determine what we're going to do with ourselves and our family. If there's an obstacle, then we're going to either have to go over it or step aside and figure something else. If we're not getting the right education, then how do you get the right education for yourself? What do you do? We got to figure it out. So we got to if we get knocked down and painfully get knocked down, you can lay there for a moment, but you got to get back up. If you can get back up, you're halfway there. You are halfway there. We just got to figure this out. Somehow figure it out. Somehow be the example for our families, for ourselves. We just got to dig in there. We can't run from it. We can't leave the burdens on somebody else. We can't leave the burden on our women. We have got, as men, be men. Even though all those obstacles I mentioned to you are out there. Police brutality, educational system, the jobs are harder. It don't matter. You're still a man regardless of that. But you have to think like a man, and you have to analyze it like a man, and you have to dig in there like a man. You know, you don't have to have the best of the best, but you can figure out like the best of the best job, or you don't have to be in the best of the best situation to be a man. But you figure out how to make your situation work, and you gotta figure it out, and you've got to move forward, and you have to make effort. You can't lay down and just quit. You can't talk your way through it. I see talkers out there sometimes, and all they're doing is talking about what they do or don't do or what they would do. They're just talkers. Talk don't mean nothing to yourself. It don't mean nothing to your family. You're wasting time talking. Yeah, you fool people sometimes because they're sitting there listening to you, but it's just talk. You gotta dig in there, feel that pain. You gotta dig in there, put that effort into there. You gotta dig in there and love that family and take a chance and just do it. You gotta dig in. Can't run or hide. That's all I got.